Perfect apple pie. A perfect apple pie should have a tender, crisp, and flaky crust with juicy, flavorful apples inside that hold their shape as you slice. Step 1. Heat apples. Start by peeling and slicing 4 to 4.5 pounds of golden delicious, Braburn, or other baking apples into pieces about 1/4 inch thick. Place them in a bowl, then pour 3 quarts of boiling water or cider over them. This will activate an enzyme in the apples that helps them retain their shape and texture as they bake. Step 2. Cover and rest. Cover the apples with plastic wrap and set them aside for 10 minutes to allow those enzymes to get to work. Step 3. Dry apples. Transfer the apples to a colander and let them drain, tossing occasionally, until they are completely dry, about 10 minutes. Step 4. Add sugar, cinnamon, salt, and cornstarch. Transfer the apples to a large bowl and add 10 tablespoons of sugar, 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, or more if you really like cinnamon. I like to keep my spicing light, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. Step 5. Toss to combine. Toss the apples to combine, making sure that the sugar and cornstarch evenly coat them. Using 2 tablespoons of cornstarch yields a very loose and juicy pie. If you prefer your pie with a thicker filling, add up to 2 tablespoons more starch. Step 6. Line and fill pie plate. Roll out 1 disc of pie dough. See our step-by-step guide to pie dough for instructions. Transfer it to a pie plate, then fill it with the apple mixture, mounding up the apples in the center. Discard any excess juices in the bottom of the bowl. Step 7. Pile high. Pile the apple slices on top of each other to completely fill the pie plate. Step 8. Cover with top crust. Unroll the second disc of pie dough over the apples, allowing it to overlap the edges of the pie plate by 1 inch on all sides. Step 9. Trim dough. Use a pair of kitchen shears to trim both the bottom and top pie crusts so that they overlap the pie plate by 1/2 inch on all sides. Step 10. Tuck dough underneath. Fold the top and bottom crusts together and tuck them underneath themselves to sit even with the edge of the pie plate all the way around. Step 11. Flute edges. Use the thumb and forefinger of one hand and the forefinger of the other to flute the edges of the pie all the way around. Step 12. Cut vents. Use the tip of a knife to cut 5 vent holes into the top of the pie crust. Step 13. Brush with egg Washington. Lightly beat an egg white and brush the top of the pie with it. This will give the pie a shiny crust that browns more evenly as it bakes. Step 14. Sprinkle with sugar. Sprinkle the pie with a tablespoon of sugar to add texture to the finished crust. Step 15. Bake. Refrigerate the pie while you preheat the oven to 425 degrees Fahrenheit, with a heavy-rimmed baking sheet placed on the lower middle rack. Once the baking sheet has preheated, place the pie on top of it. Bake until light golden brown, about 20 minutes, then reduce the heat to 375 degrees Fahrenheit and continue baking until deep golden brown, about 25 minutes longer. Remove the pie from the oven and let it rest until completely cooled so that the juices thicken, at least 2 hours. Slice and serve. Thanks for watching.